what'd you make here, Anders? Oh, this is the Philadelphia Fish House Punch. Oh, okay, it looks pretty good. Can I have some? Yeah, you know what? Help yourself. Oh, I thought you were the bartender. How about you make me a drink? Fine, I'll make you a drink. How much you want? That good? You're gonna love it. Oh, and help yourself to some nutmeg. Nutmeg? How does this work? You just put it right on top. No, you grate it. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, this is fun. Cheers. Thanks, man. Where do you keep the beer? Welcome back, friends. It's Anders. Today, I'm going to show you how I make the Philadelphia Fish House Punch. You can call it just Fish House Punch. A lot of people do. I do. And this is perfect for a summer get-together, a party, barbecue, picnic, whatever you want. A soirée, a hootenanny, a shindig. Now, I'm not gonna be making it in the traditional way that you make punch. I will talk about that. What's gonna happen here is I am going to touch on the interesting and strange history of this cocktail. Then I'm gonna show you how to make a single serving if you're having a party by yourself. And then I'm gonna show you how to make a giant batch for a group of friends. Yeah, we'll just leave it there. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more sips, tips, and recipes. And let's go make the Philadelphia Fish House Punch. To the bar. All right, the history of the Philadelphia Fish House Punch. Now, as I was reading about the history of this drink, I developed more questions than I got answers, and the whole thing seems a little bizarre to me. I'm sorry if you are a member of the club that I'm about to talk about here. So the punch itself is said to date back to 1732. And this was a secret recipe, and it was the house punch of the Schuylkill Fish Company. Now, Schuylkill is a place in Pennsylvania, but back then, it was a group of men, I assume. It was a gentleman's club, and they were kind of seen as rebels against the English, because remember, this is before the United States became a country. And so they took it upon themselves to be self-declared colony in Schuylkill. Then the Revolutionary War happens, and they reorganize, and they call themselves a state. So they called themselves the State in Schuylkill, and State in Schuylkill, not State of Schuylkill. At any rate, this was really just a club. It was a social club. They also focused on fishing and on entertaining. And again, if you are a member of this, maybe you can correct me here, but that's right, this club is still going on. As far as I understand, in the State in Schuylkill, there are only 30 citizens, 10 apprentices, which are like citizens in training, and they tend to the fish house, which is, I guess, a castle? I know, I don't get it. I really don't get it. What happened is kind of word of what this punch was got out in different forms, and everybody has their own rendition of it. Punch in general is a special thing. It's a communal drink. You talk about like the punch bowl. It's a gathering place where you have the booze and you scoop from the ladle and you put it in your cup and everybody has a merry time, and it's kind of old-timey but also classy. So now I'm not gonna be serving this in a punch bowl. I will explain later. It's really simple, just so debris and flies don't get into your thing. It'll make sense later. And this is also gonna be portable. A punch bowl is not all that portable. And if you do want to learn more about punch, I would highly recommend the book Punch, David Wondrich. I'll leave a link down below. I always leave links down below. Don't forget to check the links. One thing to know about punch. I don't remember where I read this, but David Wondrich said something along the lines, and he said, the punch bowl is self-correcting in that you started off and it's stronger, and then over time, the ice melts, that dilutes the punch. So you are drinking all night and you start getting drunker and drunker. Well, by the time you get to the bottom of it, it's mostly water. So now those drunk people are hydrating, which is what they need. So the punch bowl corrects itself. It makes everything right in the world. I think that's pretty great. Now I should point out, this is not what I'm gonna be doing. This is what I'm gonna put the punch in. It's protected from the elements. You can travel with it. All right, now the booze. For this recipe, we will need cognac, Jamaican rum, peach liqueur, apple brandy, fresh lemon juice, simple syrup, and nutmeg. So there's a lot of things going on here, but let me break it down. As far as the cognac, I'm making this the base. Most recipes call for a Jamaican rum base, so there's gonna be more of the Jamaican rum than the cognac, but I'm flipping that around. Cognac works well with so many other spirits. It works well with rum, it works well with whiskey, it works well with gin, and it tends to always play a supporting role. So in this case, I'm putting in more cognac because I want to taste the cognac. And I'm gonna let the Jamaican rum, which has a stronger flavor, do the supporting. But one nice thing about punches is they are extremely forgiving. So if you decide, oh, I'm gonna flip that around, it's also gonna be great. On to the peach liqueur. Traditionally, this would have been made with a peach brandy, which would be a peach eau de vie that's aged on oak. Now, after Prohibition, they pretty much stopped making it. What I'm doing, because I don't have a peach brandy, is I'm splitting this with a peach liqueur that I like very much. This Rothman in winter is not overly sweet, and then a straight apple brandy. So it kind of mimics the peach brandy. On to the lemon juice, freshly squeezed. Simple syrup, this is my semi-rich syrup, so it's 1.5 parts sugar to 1 part water. I know this looks a little darker, but that's just because I didn't have the white refined sugar, so I used another sugar that's less refined. It's still cane sugar, don't overthink it. The nutmeg, this is gonna be grated on top. That's a traditional punch move. Oh, you'll also want some water because punches are gonna be a little bit more diluted than your standard sour cocktails. So I'm going to add in some water as well. That's the dilution. The first way I'm gonna show you is party for one, single serve. Then we're gonna make a large batch, same proportions, blow it up. Let's build. So this first one, we're gonna shake it up. I'm gonna do it in this little punch cup because I had it and I don't use it really for anything else. Actually, we'll drink coffee out of this sometimes. So I thought maybe I'll have a punch in my punch cup. So into a shaking tin, let's start with the cognac. This will be our base. We're gonna do 1 ounce of cognac. Then we will do the Jamaican rum. I'm gonna go 1/2 ounce of Jamaican rum. For the peach liqueur, I'm gonna add just 1/4 ounce. And I'm gonna match that with the apple brandy. So another 1/4 ounce of the straight apple brandy, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, and then 3/4 ounce of fresh lemon juice. Water. So when we shake this cocktail, we are gonna be imparting water, but we actually want more water than we would get from the shaking process. So I'm going to add 2 ounces of water. Now you can grab ice and shake. About 15 seconds or so. Grab that punch cup and then drop in 2 or 3 ice cubes. Double strain right into the cup. For a garnish, grated nutmeg. Here we have the single version of the Philadelphia Fish House Punch. I'm gonna take a sip and then we will move right on. So cheers. Light, kind of sweet, left with kind of this perfumey peach. Not strong, not punching you in the face. This is a nice, sessionable, day drinking drink. On to the party portion. Just gonna pull this whole thing over here. All right, so now that we've got a vessel, this will serve as our punch bowl. We can go ahead and scale up this recipe. This is gonna make about 1.5 gallons, a little over 5.5 liters, a little over 20 servings, depending on the size of your cup, but scale up or down as needed. Let's start with the cognac. We are gonna start with 24 ounces of cognac. Next, the Jamaican rum. I'm gonna do 12 ounces of the Jamaican rum, 6 ounces of the peach liqueur, another 6 ounces of the apple brandy. Then let's add the simple. Got my notes here. I don't trust my math sometimes. Yes. 12 ounces of the simple syrup. Now I'm gonna add the water before I add the citrus, and I'll explain why in just a minute. We are gonna add 96 ounces of cold water. All we have left to add is the citrus, but I want to tell you something. If you are a planner, you could prep this days ahead of time, before your party. Just this without the citrus. When you add the citrus, that's gonna start to oxidize over time, so you want to add that last minute. Keep that fresh. But this will last. Seal it up, keep it in the fridge. That's gonna keep it cold. So when it comes time to have the party, all you have to do is add citrus and you are good to go. Because we're just gonna go right into tasting this, I'm gonna add the citrus now. So 18 ounces of fresh lemon juice. Go ahead and give this a stir. Yeah, I'm saying hi to the other camera 2. Hey, camera 2. One thing to note about citrus is over time, that juice is gonna settle. So every so often you might wanna stir it up. And if you want, if they're drinking very slow, then you might want to add a large block of ice to this. It's gonna slowly dilute it, but again, punches are very forgiving. Let's make it look pretty. I just cut up a bunch of lime wheels. Nothing fancy. Throw them in there. You could do lemons, but I wanted the green to pop against the yellow punch. You could do oranges. You could do sliced peaches. Pineapple. Oh man, the ideas, it's just endless. Wow, so it doesn't look like this incredible thing that is going to blow people's minds, but it tastes wonderful. When it comes to serve, put 3 cubes in your punch cup, and this sounds crazy, but people seem to really like it, is you give them a little garnish station. You just set aside your nutmeg with a little grater, and in most cases, people are gonna go crazy. So, There we have it. The Philadelphia Fish House Punch, modernized. Let me know if you make it, how you make it, if you think this is blasphemy to put it in such a tube. By the way, I don't bartend anymore. Even more than what should I make for my summer party, I'm getting where do you bartend? Currently, YouTube is full time, but when I was at the bar, we always had Fish House Punch on the menu. We had one customer who would call it that good peach punch. She couldn't remember Fish House Punch. Then we had to 86 her because she tried to walk out on her tab. Yeah, I don't always miss those days. See you next time. Cheers. There is a little place just out of town where if you go to lunch, they'll make you forget your mother-in-law with a drink called Fish House Punch.